Ah, calling in now. What's going on, man? Can you hear me? I assume you will shortly. It says you're muted.
Oh, weird. I was asking if you could hear me. What's up? I have a meeting in like 20 minutes or so.
All right. It's fine. I'll just keep going.
See, doing another one of those speaker things for mid-team.
Oh, great. What's the topic?
How it changed, how it like things turned around, kind of thing.
Oh,
as someone trying to get into the industry. A lot of the things that we keep going over as a whole is to encourage people, because there's a lot of like self-doubt and like, internalized stuff when it comes to coding and you trying to figure things out.
Of course.
It's pretty interesting how like how you question yourself when you're faced up against a task that has no solution, that's either fight or flight. It's like
What do you mean by has no solution?
What do you... It has no solution that's innately obvious to your body.
Okay.
Because it's something that doesn't. It's not. You can't have.
So then fight would be learn and figure it out, or something like that?
I mean, if you want to equate it like that, yeah. But what I was trying to kind of compare it to was like if you picture the hardest question you ever had in school.
Okay.
The one that you could never get, you always got wrong, but you had to get it right. It's like when your parent, like, you don't want to eat vegetables and your kid, and like you're like, I'm done, I don't want to eat, and they make you sit there till you finish your vegetables. Right? It's like you're sitting in front of that test until you get it right. And it's like it can almost be like torture. Because that might be what it feels like. Because most of the time you're probably coding in your own room, in your own table, you're by yourself, and you're just stuck. It almost at one point it feels like a type of confinement. Like,
well, I mean, yeah, coding is like, I mean, for the most part, it's a solo activity, almost entirely.
Even if you work on a team.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. Which is why I never understood why, like, the live share stuff and, like, the Google stuff. Because if you're trying to write a script and there's someone else writing a script right next to you, it becomes difficult. We ran across that a couple of times. Like, we had to section off complete areas. And at that point, aren't you basically working on different documents?
Interesting.
You know what I mean?
Of the same Google document?
Yeah. Yeah, like when we were doing the scripts for the episodes.
Right, yeah. Oh, of course, yeah.
We would split it up. Like, you do this part, I do that part, you do the... You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's only one document for the sake that, like... I guess if you ever needed to see my side of it, you could, without needing to know that there's a separate file. Kind of a thing. And if, like, a third party were to come along, they would have it all consolidated.
Yeah, I get it in terms of like a final result, because in that sense, it's more of like a GitHub. Like, you want everyone to have the most updated version that is, stored somewhere.
Guess I can try proximity mines. I don't know if those were in the first world or not. I have to. So I did like. I added these turrets. I don't know if you can see them.
I'm not looking yet. Okay. Oh yeah, Did you just make them, or did they exist already?
They were, anything you see has been in the game, in the original game. So their purpose is like you can attach them to these platforms, and then when you, I guess they don't have to be attached to a platform. They could be attached to anything really. But what they will do is, as your ship flies by them, if you get close enough, they go straight up, and if you go to the right, they'll point to the right instead, and they'll just keep shooting automatically. I guess I didn't give them any health, which I probably should do. So if I press play, you'll kind of see what I mean. So kind of shooting there, and then if I kind of go there, you see it goes straight up, and then now they're pointing to the right. Kind of
I see. It doesn't. Because it only has so many like settings for angles.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't want them to be too perfect, right? That and,
Well,
and it's easier to make, I guess.
well, it's good. You also have those windows where you can actually escape the bullet hit.
Yeah, that's also the point. I think I was supposed to make them destructible though. So what I probably have to do. So ship has like a thing that has a ship type. And for some reason the shooter has a ship type too. So I guess I should just make objects generically destructible. That's probably what I need to do. So let me do that.
All objects? That makes sense. Most things need to be destroyed.
Yeah, because it could even be like, and this is not something that's in the game, but, you know, like a piece of debris flying at you. Right. It's just as harmful, right?
It could hurt you still?
Yeah, but you could also shoot at it and blow it up, maybe, right? So that it's also no harm anymore. So the idea is that instead of on ships, so ships can get hit, but ships can get hit because they're destructible, right? So this is kind of like an interesting thing here. So then the player ship would also be destructible. I guess I would need a destructible type of friendly versus not, because I have that on the ship.
I guess that would be like a setting for a game object, right? Like, is it destructible or not? Like, you're creating a new element, do you want it to be destructible? You know what I mean? Like a toggle, so you could use it for all objects.
Well, yeah, that's the idea. So that's why I'm creating this destructible component.
Oh, and it'll just be like an add-on thing.
Yeah, it's just that right now. I
keep forgetting how Unity works.
Yeah, it's very entity component based.
Yeah, I mean, it's very reliant on the UI.
So if I take ship type and I'm just like, screw it, type, destructible type, and its default type is enemy, I guess. And then what I can do is say, instead of ship type, this is now destructible type. Destructible type. I guess that doesn't matter either. Why would I even put that there? So I just know that it has a destructible element attached. And I guess I don't need the collider on the ships anymore. Well, actually, yes, I do. But I don't need the on-enter, or it doesn't seem like I do. So if I touch another ship, when really this should be if a destructible touches another destructible? Can they collide? Or is it specific to the ship? All right, so some of this stuff is specific to the ship. This is not for bullets. All right, but I guess then the whole damage blinking thing should be part of Destructible. I gotta work that out a little bit. All right, so this is gonna be on trigger enter. And it's gonna be bullets, right? This is not ship type, this is type. Then hit, right? All this hit stuff. So hit here. property, yeah. Okay. So health property. It has player. Dash marking. I guess I need to know if I'm a ship. I can do that. So
Okay. Is destructible, is player, or enemy? I guess those would be kind of the same thing. Is vehicle?
Well, I can tell it whether or not I'm a ship if I have the ship script. So ship.
And the difference between a vehicle and a player would be its movement mechanics, right?
No, just whether or not the player's inside of it. Well, the player's always the player unless you're inside of something that is a vehicle.
Right. So the ship element has a cockpit like port.
It does, yeah. Every ship has to have a cockpit collider, so to speak, or else the player can't enter it.
Mm-hmm.
So I can say like, if I'm a ship,
Yes.
and if ship has player, then ship dot. Actually, you know what I can do? I can just do like ship dot hit, like that. Right.
You just keep thinking about crazier stuff. I was thinking it would be cool if you could make it be like it also has an autopilot.
Well, it does by default, more or less. If it's an enemy, it flies by itself.
Right, but like let's say one of the animation movements for an enemy player is put their ship on autopilot and like get on top of it and like shoot at you or like try to jump on your ship kind of thing.
I see what you mean.
Basically do what you do. So if they don't set the autopilot and you jump on their ship and pull them out, then their ship just just starts spiraling out of control, and it could potentially like crash into other ships and stuff. I know that's not what you're trying to do right now. It's just a thought I had.
Sure, yeah. And then don't destroy. Do that. Alright, then I can keep the ship specific functionality there. This is going to be more or less the destructible type. It's kind of annoying to do it this way. I don't need the collider, I guess. Apparently I don't need the renderer. How's that possible? Why is this? Because it's uninitialized or something? Oh, hides inherited component.renderer. Yeah, so what? Okay, so destructible. I guess I can require that a ship is destructible. Nah, maybe not. Won't go that far yet. Shooter, public, destructible, and then when it shoots. This destructible type is not public. It actually is. Oh, but shoot is ship type, which doesn't exist. Destructible type. That. Something else is wrong here. Shooter type, okay. And then here, this thing, if not damage blanking. So I could do That's getting hit by a bullet. This is hitting another ship. Guess I could just copy all of this. This hit should say if I'm damage maker, right? Oh, okay, got it. So what I can do is move that stuff to the destructible thing and just say like invincible, and then just turn that on and off using the ship.
Chippy chip.
Invincible. Damage timer. So if we are destructible, oh, I can move all this stuff into the destructible as well. So that can do that. So I can grab the damage timer. Oh man, okay, so I can get the sprite renderer as well. Okay, this is invincible now. And then damage timer. Damage time. Where is that? Damage timer, damage time. As player is going to be a ship thing. If I'm a ship, okay, this is gonna get weird, back and forth. Stuff. Let's see. I can do that here. If ship and ship.as player. There we go. And then if invincible, kind of a deal. Or I guess not. Let me do, if not invincible, then all this stuff can happen. So if a ship collides with another ship, that only counts if I'm the player's ship. So if ship and ship.as player, and type is enemy, and S. Oh, okay, hold on. It's a destructible, right? Destructible. D dot type. Oops. D dot type. Then hit and D dot hit and there. Okay. the ships don't collide with anything. There's still the matter of die. I can put this logic in Destructible too. Ship.die. Here we go. And ship.displayer. Reset the level. Like that. Okay. Alright. Where's all that? Oh, that was all the player script. So the ship script doesn't have much stuff going on in it anymore.
It doesn't?
Not much. Where's all that uptime, downtime stuff? Oh, nothing. It's just setting. Okay. Alright. So now I'm sure a lot of other stuff is broken, right? No. Yes. Player. Ship.hit. Okay. 0. Why is that the case? Because I want it to be, if it's destructible. Okay, so.
Okay, I gotta get going.
Okay, man. Cool.
Okay, I'll catch you later.
Yeah, hit chip after, or you can just message me after. It's fine.
Okay.
All right, later.
Peace.
If the ship just happens to be destructible, then I'm gonna hit it with 0 damage, just so I can get that damage. Yeah, although I do have to set it to has player first, and then I can get that effect. Okay. So I'm gonna do that first. So ship.type doesn't do anything. So if it's an enemy ship, I gotta flip it around. And get all of its guns from its shooter. Okay, so that's something put here. Yeah, become friendly. That I don't, this entire thing I don't really care about. Like that. So, if type destructible, destructible type, else it's an enemy. I feel like if it can become friendly, it has to be destructible. Yeah, okay. that. If it has a shooter. Do this. Invert direction. If it has automated movement, kill the automated movement. Seems good. For the most part, that should still work. Let's check it. Although, you know what? Just leave it at that. So it compiled. So now my ships are non-destructible. So I gotta come over here to all these prefabs, which I only have one. That's nice. Now they're all destructible. This guy has 3 health, and he's an enemy. And the player ship, which is somewhere, I guess it's not a prefab, also has to be destructible. He has 5 health. He is friend. And that is that. Let's see if anything still works without crashing. Alright, it just didn't flip on the x-axis. Oh, shit. And the movement didn't get destroyed. I did see an aura. Okay, so I did get some stuff happening here. Ground turret. Alright, that's interesting. Is that all the time? It is. Parallax background. Player instance. Player instance. Ah, I forgot about that. Okay. What the hell happened to player? Guess I can do this in a wave, I guess. I don't think that's going to change anything. Why is that suddenly a problem? There must be some underlying problem here. Become friendly. There it is. Okay, so destructible has not been set. And no, it is not. So that's the actual problem there. Destructible. Alright, there was like an enter ship thing. Render. Sprite renderer. Enter ship and renderer gets defined later. I guess I should define all these things right about here. And again, what else is going on here? Become friendly. Okay, so this is because become friendly This doesn't have to have the player. So only if I'm the enemy. The problem is this is getting called. So but this is getting called on player ship. Oh, it doesn't matter because the destructible is null. So this becomes kind of annoying. However, I guess I can redo that in start. Right, I can do this in start. And then everything will have awoken. And then I won't have any problems. And then I'll enter the ship. And now it's mine, and I can shoot, and everything is normal again. Jump back and forth between these guys. I can't kill him anymore because he's friendly now. Oops. So now the goal is to actually make... Oh, I'm not damage blinking anymore. Oh, what's this now? Player. Because the scene reloaded. And the player instance actually did disappear because I didn't do don't destroy on load. That's right. I think I'm going to keep the player as non-singleton or whatever, right? Because the level manager has the player as well that he gets on awake. So when I go to this backgrounds thing, this should really be level manager.instance player like that. And is the turret doing anything? Player, level manager, instance player. Okay. So on level reset. Okay. So player is null. Because level manager only gets set once. So wake only gets called once. So it's better to do this from the player's perspective because he gets recreated every time. So then level manager.instance.player is this. And that will always get overridden every time the level restarts. Okay. But the whole damage blinking thing isn't actually working. The invincible thing isn't working. So that should be inside of Destructible now. If I can find it. Invincible is true if I have a ship and the ship has a player. Invincible equals true. If invincible, renderer equals not enabled. So I'm guessing this is getting hit. Either that or I could just keep getting hit forever. Or the damage timer is not getting set correctly. Or the damage timer, this is actually set to 0. That's almost certainly what it is. Where the hell's the... Yes, okay, so this should be, I think it was like 1.5. For that, and for this ship, same thing. And then I'll set it to 1.5 by default. I'm going to get rid of that breakpoint because I don't think it's going to hit. Debugging. Now I'm blinking, and if I get hit, I'm blinking again. All right. So now it's time to make the other turrets. So turret, turret, turret. Ground turret. If I change this ground turret, is it going to change? This ground turret? Let's see. On Unity quiz. Destructible. Enemy. It has 3 health. And it's the damage time doesn't matter because it can't have the player because it's not a ship. That's right. But it does need a box collider then, and it needs a rigid body. So I could just make that an aspect of Destructible that box collider and rigid body. So now if I remove this, Destructible, now I get these guys. Okay. And rigid body has the kinematic setting. And box collider. I guess that's fine. Yeah. Okay. I was like deep in thought about something, some totally other game related thing. So now I should actually be able to destroy these things. Oh wow, one hit? One hit? Did I change their health? 3. Right. just admiring the background there, how it actually fades into the sky. So it's almost like the higher you go, it's there, but you can't see it, right? And that's just kind of like a random consequence of making its Y position come up as you fly up. And it almost becomes invisible. Cool. Alright, so that's a bunch of stuff that I hadn't even planned to try and get working. That's not even here. I was gonna do like proximity mines, which I guess I still could do. You know what? Let me check the original source and see if that was also in the first world. So let's go to level 1. I know it's not in level 1. Maybe like level 3. Fighter, fighter, kamikaze, kamikaze, fighter, kamikaze, kamikaze, fighter. Carrier with 2 turrets. Oh, the mech. Right, the mech. Okay. And level, yes. Okay. Carry 1 fighter. So ship group with ship type, number of ships, the movement type, delay. Okay. Not a lot going on here. In level 4. Cruiser. Is this the first appearance of the cruiser? I see. Okay. Level 5. Add the boss. And level equals yes. Boss done. So level has like, oh wow. Yep. Zooming. Okay, that's a thing. I can add that to the list. Zoom in and out to specific zooms. Focused. Focus on the player. Guess that's just a matter of increasing the camera size, the orthographic size, or I'm sorry, decreasing the orthographic size. Follow player X if zoomed in. I don't know, that's a tricky one. Really depends. Reset game state level variables, delay start, count seconds, level time, pause level resume. Player enter ship. Layers variable letting us know that ship does have the player. Reverse ship scale. Create a flash. Explode. Don't flash at the beginning of the level. Start spawning, stop spawning. Spawn enemy. Wow. Spawn based off enemy type. Okay. Move to focus. Move the viewing area to the object controlled by the player. Level, if end level, end level. If not, ship has pilot. Look for all ships to jump into. Fight sequence loop. Pilot. Fight loop starts here. Player hit. Player punch. Check to end fight sequence when pilot is null. Enemy pilot, get pilot. Set the pilot from the pilot class. Player is fighting is yes. Player is walking. Spawning enemies. Not spawning. Look for stop switches to turn spawning off. Spawning will also stop if you're inside. End player dot is walking. Strictly put stuff here that should happen only when the player is not walking, like jumping out of the ship. Controls. If not, ship has player. Player dies in various ways while not walking. Player ship dies. Start cruiser. Check cruiser stuff. Current cruiser dot reactor destroyed. Backup. Use cruiser equals no. If not cruiser. This can't be a targetable ship anymore. Current cruiser equals null. So that some other cruiser can become the cruiser. Resume level time. Zoom thing. If ship has player. Zoom out after landing in ship while zoomed in. Max walking zoom factor. Yeah. Keep the layer in the screen, and that is it. That's the entire level. No, it's not. End level. Check end level. Level ended. Okay. So I don't think I need anything from this. I just wanted to know where the... So level 5 was the first boss. It seems level 6 has the power up. Does this have a level type? Carrier with turret, ship groups, carrier with turrets. Upside down now. 13, 16 ship groups, carrier, ship group, message box. Okay, so this is World 2 for sure. And then robot boss. Man, I never even put a proximity bomb in the game. You know what? I guess they would have a file, wouldn't they? Here's mine. Is blinking red, start blinking, blink time. Explode mine, update, start blinking, sensor circle. Blink time is greater than 2, so 2 seconds. If not started blinking, intersect rect, start blinking. Maybe something else like a trigger sound. And then when it's blinking, non-red amount. So this is doing some burping. Circle alpha, circle fading out, circle fading in. Okay. None of the levels have it, but I feel like it should. So this should be pretty simple overall. Let's go ahead and make this guy. Oops, not right there. Back to the scene, buddy. All right, so mine comes right here. It's on the enemy layer. It's a little higher on the enemy layer. So I guess it should be in front of these guys. Okay. So this is a 9. Say 9. It is destructible. It is not a trigger, but it will have a proximity mine script. Proximity mine script that will actually have an assumption that there is another object. I just want to draw a circle, actually. I guess I could have a circle that's a sprite, and I wouldn't have to draw it. I think what I did in the original version, CC draw circle. Yeah, so I know Unity has the capability to draw in the game. I guess that would be nice. Unity, draw, circle. GL. That has to be in doesn't that have to be okay. Let's see. Well, it's going to have a, if that's the case, then it doesn't need an underlying object. I can take this proximity mine. The idea is that, well, it needs a second collider. Right, so this is going to be the, there was a thing about this. There was a thing about this. Oh, that it has its own rigid body. Right, so this is the proximity. And I'll say it's the circle collider, right? And its radius is half a unit. Is that good? I feel like it should be pretty good. Yeah, there we go. Oops. So if I get within this range, boom, it starts triggering. I feel like it might even benefit from being bigger than that. So now getting within this range, that's too much. I like the 1. Okay. Is it not? Oh, it is. Weird. Okay, so now I just need to draw that. So where can I draw? Not in the update though. Oh, so this is just drawing GL lines, a bunch of GL lines. One for every degree of the circle. Yeah, I did it with line renderer before. I could do it again. I guess I want it to look actually like a circle, but I would love to be able to dynamically define the radius, even though I probably won't ever change it. So I'm just going to do the thing that takes the least amount of time right now. So 100 pixels per unit. The radius is one unit, so that's 100 by 100 square. No, a radius, 200 by 200. And then what I want is a circle that fills the entire thing. Which I guess I can just do like image. Well, I need to know, I need to start exactly in the corner. Roughly. But I actually want something that's bigger than that. So let's say 220. So that visually, it will look like you might be so that visually it might not look like you're in the circle, if that makes sense, but really you are. So all that I really want is, I could just color this and then mess with the styles. So I want a stroke of red, and then blending options, 0 fill. And that's my proximity. And then delete the background. And save it. So this is going to be sprites, line proximity. And that should be there now. Also, I'm going to move this square black into the sprites folder. Okay, so now I have this guy. And that took about an hour less time than it would have to do the line renderer thing. So proximity is here. Again, this needs a rigid body. Rigid body. Didn't I create that color fading thing, or was that part of the text? Ship shooter sprite flickers, ship player explosion, destructible. Yeah, there's a bunch of other scripts. So rigid body 2D. Screed is fine. Auto kill balance carrier, game text. Okay, so scripts. Is it special text? It's like this start color, stop color. Yeah. Okay. So I have to do the same thing with this. So this thing is going to have a sprite renderer. That's going to be this. And it's also going to be on the enemy. It's kind of ugly. Well, it's ugly there. Maybe the line shouldn't have been so thick. Let's see. There's a different stroke size. 1. There we go. Did that auto update? Looks like it might have. Alrighty. Kind of want to pick a red closer to this red. It's more of like a blood red. Oh, okay. Okay. it's a little darker. And then this one is going to change its sprite render tint. Is this going to have an alpha? Do these have an alpha property? Sure hope so. Oh, that's right, I have a color property here. There we go. Okay, on the sprite render itself. So let's go ahead and do that. Where are all the scripts? I guess because I moved them into a different folder. So proximity mine script. I know that I have a game object that's going to be my proximity. And proximity. And I know that it has a sprite renderer. Okay, and you know what? I don't even need a dumb box circle collider for this. This is an easy manual check. Right. If player, okay. Level manager instance.player distance vector2.distance player and transform.position and this transform.position are within 1 if we're within 1 unit of each other, and that would be circular because that's the vector distance. Then go ahead and trigger, right? So will explode equals true, and this is just if not. Doesn't have to continuously check that. Else then I am exploding. Explode timer greater than or equal to, what am I doing? Explode timer. Right, I think I hard coded it as 2 seconds or something. So if explode timer is greater than or equal to 2, explode timer plus then explode, or do whatever the explosion is, which really is I get destroyed and what else? The player ship gets hit if he's within range. So I do kind of always want to know the distance, huh? Not always. So if he's still within 1, then go ahead and do the explosion thing. Otherwise, right, so this is going to be like, oh, the player, right? I want it to be the ship that the player is piloting. I guess it really doesn't matter too much. It'll be the cockpit. Kind of weird. I'll have to refine this later if it seems off. The player's position is inconsistent for ships. So maybe use the ship's position. Either way, I'm just going to continue blinking the whole time, and blinking is really just going to be, oh, this is if explode timer is greater than 2. Otherwise, I'm going to be blinking here. In either case, blow up here, and this is hit the player's ship actually. So current ship destructible, hit, and I will hit it for 2 damage. And then while I'm not exploding, right, I want sprite renders alpha. I kind of want it to fade out slowly and then pop back into red, which should be easy enough. So I'm literally just looping the alpha down to 0. So what is that? Proximity render dot color. Right, that's the property, right? It has a color property. So color equals that, c dot a minus equals time by delta time if c dot a is less than 0, c dot a equals, are these on a 0 to 1? Yeah. So that's going to go down for 1 second. I kind of want it to be like faster than that, so maybe it blinks 2 times a second. Kind of just want to see what that looks like to start off with. So it should be doing that the whole time. Nope. Got some bugs, right? Nope. What is this? What happened here? What's the issue here? Proximity. Is it named wrong? Has a capital P. I probably never reset the color. Render.color equals C. So where is that proximity? Right, the color value does not seem to be changing at all. So this is still, okay. This is something that should always happen, regardless of whether I'm going to explode or not. Actually, no. If I am exploding, it should start blinking really fast, right? Okay, so that's kind of cool. So then, let's see. Float blink speed is 2 by default, and then, right, I can just do this here, and then, wait, what was that other thing? Right, that actually does go there. And then if I am exploding, then blink speed will equal like 5. And then this is just going to be blink speed. So it's actually a little fast, right? So my initial blink speed can be 1. And then I'm actually going to do something interesting, which is like, once it starts blowing up, it's actually going to go faster and faster the closer it is to blowing up. So that's kind of what I wanted. And there it goes, it's going to blow up because it's going fast, right? Now that I've entered within the area. Alright, so what it actually should be is like, blink speed is 5 times the explode timer. Or if the explode timer goes all the way to 2, then 10 times the explode timer. So that after 1 second, it will be 5. So that doesn't make any sense either, because it's always going to start out. So like at a base level, it's 5, right? And then we're just going to tack on screw it, 5 times an extra 5. What? 5 times explode timer, right? So that we go from 5 all the way to 15 times per second. And he's not actually exploding yet. Nice. That's great, actually. It's like at infinite speed at that point. So it's immediately fast, but it really gets really fast. So it's normal, normal, normal. Let me just get rid of all this stuff here. All these threats. Normal. And then as soon as I hit it, it starts blinking really fast, but also getting faster. Nice. And then I got hit because of this line here. And I blew up. And then I guess I want at Destructible. We'll have an explosion. Hey, what's up? Beef Bilby. Fife Bilby. Fife Bilby. I give up. So overall I like that. What was the deal with this? I have to explode, I guess. To destroy. Or I have to have a destructible as well. Which is going to be, I have some amount of health. 79. Okay, so I already have a destructible that has like 3 health, Languages? I don't know. I know a bunch. I don't know a bunch well. Uh, the one I know the best is unfortunately like probably Java, just because of my old day job. I say unfortunately because I don't really like it anymore. I'm porting this game from an old iOS version that it used to be. So this is all written in Objective-C for iOS. And I'm taking that to Unity, which uses C#. So I'm not actually porting over the code directly. This is like code that I wrote 10 years ago. So a lot of it's like kind of irrelevant and kind of not even, wouldn't even make sense to do some of this stuff in Unity. So most of the code is just getting rewritten. Nice. Yeah, you end up having to at some point when you're using Unity. There's not a lot of things. There's not a lot of. I mean, they have a lot of visual scripting now. I just don't know how far you can get in terms of like a full game. I mean, maybe you can. I don't know. Just don't know how robust of a game you can make. So you end up having to learn some C# at some point, whether it's some small amount. So that's kind of cool. So I have Destructible that if I explode, right, then the Destructible is getting hit for like a million damage. I guess I could just all die. And then when Destructible dies, it just destroys itself. And another thing I want to do, well, this should be enough to test it. I'm going to get within the range of this proximity mine, and then it will start to blink and then blow up. There it is, it's gone. Okay. So now I want to actually make a cool explosion animation. So I think I have one already. Explosions. So explode 1. This is like a simple explosion, a bigger explosion. Explosion 3. I don't really know which one I want to use. Walk burst. Okay. I'm gonna go with explosion 1 as like a normal ship explosion. I think I already created an explosion class to do it too. Well, let's see. Animation explosion player. Okay. So sprites. Explosion 1. Explode 1-1. So this is really like animation explosion 1 and animation explosion player normal. Yeah. I know I have an explosion already. Alright, so I could just duplicate that. Explosion 1. And I'm going to get rid of this guy. Explosion 1 is going to have a different animation controller and a different starting explosion animation. I'll put this here. Right, so now on Destructible, I can have an explosion if I want. Destructible explosion. And explosions all do the same thing. Except I have to make sure that the animation also calls that damn method. Okay, so come on. So explosion 1, window, animation. So then I have, oh, there's an animation event already? No, that was this one. So I waited 2 frames for some reason. Explosion gun. That's the explosion script. Okay. That's pretty much it. Now I just have to set that on here. So if I die, so I destroy myself, instantiate explosion. If it exists. So I can test it with this proximity mine. Right. It has a destructible that will have explosion 1. Right there. Right. Triggered, and there it is with an animation. Cool. So now I can add explosion animations to everything. Do I use Unity for work? No. No, I don't. I mean, this is sort of a job that I'm doing for someone. So I guess it's kind of like work. I don't have a traditional day job at the moment. I do this for work. So I guess you could say I use Unity for work, but I don't have one specific job per se. I have a few different projects going on right now. That's a good question. You would probably want to make screen recordings of the games themselves. Would be a good start, and then you could always put those videos on YouTube, just because people like to see cool things instead of reading code. So showing a game that you made would probably look cool. Because if anyone does know Unity and they see what you made and you say you made it in Unity, they could probably get an interesting or like some kind of understanding of what you actually know. a brief description of I guess some of the Unity specific, if you did anything very specific in Unity that someone might want to know, would be helpful. If it's something like Unity editor scripting, you might include screenshots of what that editor functionality looks like. Yeah, I mean, you could do something similar to like a website portfolio. I mean, just a game portfolio. That would primarily start with like a screenshot of the game, and you know, when you click on that, you would have multiple screenshots of the game with a video of it. And if anybody wanted to know the details, I mean, it would probably be in your resume, if that's, or maybe not a resume, but in your portfolio, you would definitely describe like the specifics of things that you know, right? I don't know, I haven't made something like that in a while. So let's see, Ship Fighter has Destructible, now also has Explosion 1. And now Ground Turret has Destructible. It now has Explosion 1. Nice, they're getting blown up, creating little explosions. I like it. The proximity mine. Did that thing actually just blow up by itself? I don't know. Nice, and it should actually, you know what? I'm gonna make that one that one should really be a bigger explosion. Where's another explosion? Explode 2. Oops. Animation, add the event, explosion done, get rid of this thing, duplicate this thing, explosion 2, and explosion 2. And explosion 2. There we go. Bigger explosions. That's what we need. I don't have a big enough explosion animation, honestly. Oh, that one was pretty cool. Okay. I think that's pretty good progress. Well, I guess the other thing is, let me just finish off this proximity mine. I want it to be, it needs ship movement, and its movement is going to consist of 1 right to left movement for infinity, and with move velocity of 1. It's going to fly nice and slow through the level, and I can start it off over here, right through there, and there we go. And now it's prefab. So I'll just have it fly through the level. It's not moving though. Movement count and times count invalid. Oh, did I not actually do that? Proximity. Open. Oh, I thought that was 0. This should be 0. There we go. Okay. So there it is, moving along the screen. And I can trigger it. There it goes. Boom. Let's see. Is everything blowing up? These carriers don't kill themselves. I guess that's what does that? What does that? Is that this? Oh, because they don't have the bounds killing thing. All the carriers should have auto kill bounds. Auto kill bounds. Interesting. On trigger exit. Oh. Carriers don't have. Carriers don't have. That's right. What are those things called? Rigid bodies. They don't have rigid bodies. They can't detect triggers. I want to say that's why. Man, these. Oh, they're getting destroyed now. Okay, everything's getting nicely destroyed. And the proximity mine will need the same thing. Almost everything should have auto kill bounds. Auto kill bounds, and it has a rigid body already. Great, cool. I feel like that's a pretty good place to stop after an hour and a half. Let's see, what can I remove from the list? Proximity mines. Guess that's it. Yeah, I can actually probably just add more stuff. What was the thing? More explosions? I don't know. I guess I also added explosions and that wasn't even in the list. Cool. Man, I'm dreading this. This is gonna have to come up really soon. Yeah, good idea. And when you do, let me know. I wouldn't mind seeing what you got. Do you have like a website where you can share that stuff right now? Or you have like any info? Or like screenshots on Twitter or stuff like that? Yeah, if you don't care about the code, you can always put it in GitHub. That's not a bad idea. I was gonna suggest it, but I didn't want to because I didn't know how private you were about it. Yeah, sure. Yeah, post a link, and I'll definitely check it out. I think there's a link to a Discord on my Twitch page also, where we have a few game devs, and we like to share stuff there as well. Pixelated wave of colors, sweet. It's always fun to experiment with stuff like that. Nice. Give that a watch. Oh, that's really cool. So they do just keep following the same pattern and slowly progressing to various colors until they finally make it back to black. Seems like it. That's very interesting. Nice. That's it's got a lot of interesting little features in one small project. So that's pretty cool. I like that. Yeah, post a link. Oh, there it is. Cool. Visit portfolios. I like how one of the objects is the same website that you're on. Cool. Yeah, this is a pretty cool little portfolio. I like that it's very clearly a portfolio. There's nothing else on the site other than a list of projects, so cool. Vanilla HTML, JavaScript, no frameworks, libraries. Perfect. That's always the best way to go. Even though I'm using Unity right now. But yeah, in the web world, I don't know why, but I still prefer just using JavaScript. Frameworks, it just doesn't work out. It's so convoluted and broken. Well, all right, man. I gotta get going. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. I do this pretty much weekdays around the same time, just putting together a little bit of this game. Should I put it all in one file? One C# file? I mean, if it is all one C# file in your Unity project, then sure, yeah. You probably don't want to post a whole project. It's got like all these like cache files and library files. You probably I mean, unless you want someone to be able to download the project and run it, I guess that's a little different, but yeah, so I mean, I would recommend just putting only the C# files. You can also use itch.io to post the actual, like a web build of the game, and then a downloadable project file folder of it as well. And then someone can play the project in the web. Right, exactly. Yeah. But you do have all the scripts in a specific, somewhere in the assets folder. So maybe just the assets folder you can put in GitHub. Something like that. But cool, yeah. Thanks for hanging out again. We'll catch you next time, maybe. It's no, it's itch.io. Spell that right? That's where a lot of people just post their game projects and random files and stuff like that. Downloadable projects. So I recommend that. Alrighty. Take care. Of course.